Hi guys, it's me Nikita, and in today's video we are going to be talking about something really important. Now, if any of y'all out there plan to come into the UK in 2023 and are a healthcare professional, then you absolutely need to watch this video right now, because as you are all aware, many of us NHS professionals work on a sort of salaried payment, and as a result of it right now, many professionals including nurses, physios, paramedics, ambulance staff are actually going on a strike to sort of help increase our wages. But that just means that the wages that we are receiving at the minute, the salary that we're receiving at the minute, is nowhere near the rate of inflation, that is the cost of living for us right now. And which is why many of us who come on visa sponsorships are unable to sort of meet our basic requirements at this stage. And that is putting us at a major disadvantage, especially considering the fact that many of y'all will leave a well secured job in India, leave your family, leave your all of the finances and the savings that you have in your home countries, including India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and come to the UK to obviously live and try to make a life over here, but we're clearly not being paid enough. So in today's video, I will be sharing 6 tips that I think can help you build a life even through the current struggles and the hardship that we may face financially in the UK. So the absolute first thing that you really need to do is start paying your bills on time. Now, many of y'all are aware that there are some basic bills when you think about living in the UK, and this includes your rent, council tax, broadband, gas and electricity, and water. And beyond this, whatever you may have may be based on your wants and not your needs, because these 5 things are your basic needs, including food and transport. But also think about it this way, that whatever salary you get, you need to save enough money, or you need to at least make enough money so that you pay off these bills first. That being said, that you know that the cost of these bills are going to keep rising because obviously the cost of living is rising. So keeping that in mind, remember that your salary firstly needs to be divided in a way that you pay off these bills, and then whatever excess you have, you can think about how else you want to spend it. Now, just to remember, all of these bills are paid on a monthly sort of basis. Obviously, you can go ahead and pay some yearly bills, including your broadband or for your council tax, where you can say, I will pay it at the start of a year for the next year. But remember that most of these bills are paid on a monthly basis, and you need to remember that you need to set aside some money for this. Now, leaving this aside, I would highly recommend that you have a savings plan for yourself, whether this includes having a monthly budget planner or having a sort of set amount that you save aside for yourself. And this can be as small as £5, because I remember when I was working in a grocery store, I wouldn't have a lot of savings, but I made it a point to at least save some minimal amount of money for myself. Now, another thing that helped me during that time, and that's something that helps me to this day to pay all of my bills on time, is having a monthly budget planner. And if you want to know more about my monthly budget planner, please let me know in the comment section below so that I can help you out with it, and I can sort of put that out on my website really soon. But yeah, let me know in the comment section below if you are interested in knowing my budget planner and how I plan for the month in advance. Now, just thinking about another way that we can make sure we pay our bills on time is making sure we have a sufficient amount of salary coming in. I know that many healthcare professionals right now are working weekend shifts, on-call shifts, which are night shifts, or even maybe bank shifts, just to sort of get that additional money, that additional income to supplement whatever salary they're earning by themselves during their weekday jobs. So make sure that if you are interested in earning more money, you should sign up for any sort of bank jobs, weekend jobs, or on-call jobs that are available through the NHS Professionals website. So yeah, learn to pick up some extra shifts, even whether it's once or twice a month, but it will really help you build or boost the income that you currently have at the minute, which will in turn obviously help you pay off those bills that you are going to recur on a monthly basis. The second strategy that I want to share with many of y'all is reduce the number of times you actually end up going to the shop. Now, I'm not sure many of y'all know this, but I was previously living in London, where obviously I had many grocery shops just outside my house, and I could do shopping at any point of time. So I was like a frequent visitor to many of these shops during the week. But right now I've moved to Cambridge. Obviously, I do not have a car yet, and so that's making it a little difficult for me to keep commuting to the grocery shop, even to get my weekly grocery sort of sorted for myself. And that just means that I'm really just going to the shop only once a week. But you will not believe the amount of massive changes it has made to my budgeting for food. Earlier, I would just think about, oh, I do not have milk, I do not have onions, I do not have a frozen pizza. Let me just go and run to the shop while I was in London. But right now, because I'm living in Cambridge and because I have sort of learned that I cannot keep going to the grocery shop every time, I literally sit down and make a list of the items that I need, and only based on that I shop for myself once a week. And this has actually helped to pull down my sort of monthly expenditure on groceries. So please try and reduce the number of times you would actually end up going to the shop. Now, again, on that note, I know many of y'all out there would think, oh, is there really a cost difference between London and Cambridge in terms of groceries? And the sad answer is no, there isn't. The cost of it stays the same wherever you are, whether it was London or Cambridge for me. So I'm assuming that it would be the same across all different cities, including Manchester, Birmingham, Cardiff, or wherever else you would want to live. Now, if you are liking this video so far, please do not forget to subscribe to my channel, but also please remember that I do have an Instagram account where I post daily updates, and my handle is physiotherapy in UK, so don't forget to follow me on Instagram, guys. The third thing that I absolutely want to suggest, which I think is often overlooked, especially when you are working on a very low income or a medium income salary in the UK, is buying things beyond what you need. So obviously, when I think about needs and when I think about buying stuff, I divide it into two basic things for myself. There are needs and then there are wants. So when I think about needs, it obviously includes the basic things that you need. For example, milk, rice, sugar, tea, coffee, bread, whatever else it is that you absolutely need to survive. But then there comes want, and these can be that occasional sort of extra treat that you give yourself. But that is exactly what it should be. You shouldn't say that I need a Pepsi or I need a Coca-Cola every day, because then that just becomes a need when it is actually a want. So that being said, I would strongly advise you, especially if you are finding it hard to meet your ends and to sort of survive within the salary limits that you have within the UK, please consider what are your needs and what are your wants, and based on that only budget for yourself, because you need to focus right now only on your needs. Because anything that you spend on your wants, maybe that extra packet of crisp, maybe whether it's an extra packet of some other sort of sweet things, or whether it's an extra bottle of aerated drinks, that could have been your savings for that month, and you could have added it to your savings pile. The next thing I want to suggest is think small. Now, I know many of y'all would say, what is thinking small, Nikita? I mean, I'm coming to the UK to live a big life and live a luxurious life and make money for myself. And I would say that's not the attitude you should carry, especially when you are entering the UK or you're coming into the UK to make a livelihood. So for example, for me per se, when I initially came into the UK, many of my friends and many of my relatives in fact tried suggesting that obviously you're a girl, you're living alone, try to live in a one-bedroom apartment or a studio apartment by yourself. And honestly, that was expensive, because when you think about a shared accommodation, when you think about a studio apartment or a one-bedroom apartment, there are additional bills, including like your council tax, your broadband, gas, electricity, Wi-Fi, and all of these additional bills get added on to your rent. Now, that being said, that would be more expensive as compared to when you live in a shared accommodation where you rent out a double room or a single room with another group of people, or in a shared household. So like I said, think small, because having that double room or that single room initially helped me save some money, which actually helped me pay my visa cost and actually helped me buy that ticket to go back home to see my parents. And let me just tell you, it makes a big difference. The second example that I could share for thinking small is when I obviously moved to the UK, I used to walk a lot. I still walk a lot. I walk about 40 to 50 minutes every day. I even try to use public transport as much as I can, and I do not own a car. But when you think about it, not owning a car actually helped me save up loads of money, because obviously not having a car meant that I didn't have to pay car insurance. I didn't have to get extra money to obviously pay a deposit on the car or pay monthly rent on it or whatever it is. And I didn't have to pay money for obviously the petrol. Now, obviously it depends on where you are, because obviously many jobs in the UK in the healthcare professional ask you to have a car, because obviously there are remote jobs where you need to go into the far off villages in the UK. But if you are living in a city, or if you are working in a hospital, do consider just getting on the public transport, buying yourself maybe a cycle, or even walking to work if that's an option for yourself. So like I said, think small. Don't think about living a very luxurious life right at the onset, right when you land into the UK, because all of those luxuries are going to cost extra and you're going to have to pay for them out of your salary, which is not possible at the current minute because you are facing a financial hardship right now. My next sort of recommendation is reducing your debt in the UK. Now, when you think about it, in the UK, a lot of things are just received on credit, whether it's furniture, whether it's mortgage, whether it's anything else related to your car. whether it's even buying certain appliances and etc etc. Now, what I would say is, obviously, as you come into the UK, it might be hard for you to secure a credit card, and many of us have some difficulty sort of finding that credit card, because you might find a credit card where you have to pay a high interest rate. But that just means that when we go to a shop, we tend to buy a lot of things on credit, and we may not really realize what we're ending up buying. And that actually leads to having a lot of money or an excessive amount of money leave your account just so that you meet the sort of credit demands that you've placed on yourself. So whether it's, maybe say you have £1,000 credit limit and you spend about £800, so that means at the end of the month you need to be paying back the bank about £800, which may not be feasible in the current sort of financial situation that you are in. So I would say try to keep your credit as less as possible. Try to keep that debt as less as possible, because that will actually help you manage your finances, budget for yourself much better on a monthly basis and on a yearly basis. And like I said, whatever additional savings you have, keep adding that up to your savings stockpile, because that will really help you build a better life for yourself in the UK. Now, if any of y'all so far have any question about how I built my savings in the UK, please let me know that in the comment section below, because I can make a detailed video on that, which I think might help you guys. But do let me know your thoughts about whether you feel such a video is important, whether you would like it, or if you are not interested in it, that's also fine. But yeah, let me know in the comment section below. And I think the final thing that I want to share with you is be disciplined. Now, I obviously realize that coming to the UK, you might think that you want to go out and explore, you want to go out and see new places, you want to eat fancy food, and that's absolutely fine. Maybe you set aside a budget for it on a monthly basis, saying maybe every month I'm going to keep 60 to 100 pounds for this. And know for yourself that if you cross this amount, you are not going to be spending anything more on that, because if you spend anything more than that 60 to 100 pounds that you've saved at the start of the month, all of that money goes from your savings account, and that means that you're spending way more than what your salary can afford. So my request to you is be consistent, be disciplined, because this is a hard time in the UK, especially if you're coming from India and if you do not have a lot of money with you. So if you are planning to just live your life on the salary that you have based on a band 5, band 6 job, then remember that you need to be disciplined. You need to work out what is your monthly salary, what is your monthly savings, what is the monthly sort of cost that you are going to have on food, or maybe even going out to enjoy yourself. And if you cross that limit, stop yourself, discipline yourself and say, no, I'm not going to go out, I'm going to go out next month. But these are the sort of few tips that I wanted to share with you. And if you haven't followed me on Instagram already, now is the time, because my handle is Physiotherapy in UK. But that's it, guys. I hope you liked this video and subscribe to my channel. Take care. Bye.